Hey everyone, so thank you for joining me on this video. I am losing my voice because I've been sick, which is why I decided this week to do a visual video so that I'm able to connect with you in this way, so you're not just listening to my raspy voice. But I really wanted to connect with you because we have some major energetic shifts happening, and I want you to be aware so that you can better prepare and understand, why you may be feeling a certain type of way, or why things may be coming up. So this week we're going to look at February 27th to March, 5th, sorry. So February 27th to March 5th, which coming into the week. Also, before I start, I want to note that I'm not only going to focus these videos on astrology, but I'm also going to start talking more about spirituality and energy and the things that are going on in the world, because we have some really crazy energy happening and shifting in this world, and I want to help guide with it. So, I'm going to go over the astrology, but I'm also going to look at it in an energetic type of spiritual way as well. So if this aligns with you and you want to stick with me and, check out my content, then thank you. And I hope you enjoy and I hope it helps. So, right into the week, we have Saturn at 29 degrees of Aquarius, getting ready to move into Pisces. Once Saturn shifts into Pisces, this is a huge energy shift. This is a completely different expression of this planet. So Saturn is about restriction and responsibility, sometimes challenge and delays. When we have Saturn moving through a certain area of our chart, of our life, we tend to experience delays in that area, or sometimes conflict, or some type of restriction, or a stop to something. And this can even happen on a global scale as well, in a more collective way. So you want to know where you have Pisces in your chart, so you're able to understand maybe some things that are going to come up. Or the one thing with Saturn and Pisces is Saturn is all about boundaries, and Pisces is all not boundaries. It's very illusionary and creative and dreamy and flowy. And so this energy is almost like a dissolving of boundaries, or the complete opposite, where I've honestly been getting a lot of intuitive downloads about people developing a strong spiritual practice. I think we are going to see a time where so many people are going to start developing a huge spiritual practice, because solid, right? Like a solid, like really trusting their intuition, really getting to know their intuition. And it is really a must at this time. We really truly need that. We have so much going on in the world, and the earth is shifting. The energy is shifting. We have a lot of changes. As you can see, the world is really chaotic, and we need to be able to trust our intuition, to be very discerning with what we're seeing, because a lot of what we're seeing is not going to be true. And we have to be able to see what is true and what is not true, like what feels good to you. You have to learn to trust your intuition and what works for you, because what works for one person is not going to work with someone else. And honestly, the best way to get to know your intuition is by looking at your moon sign in your chart. Your moon sign represents your intuition. So if you want to learn how to get to know your intuition and work with your intuition, start diving deep into your moon sign. What house is it in? What sign is it in? Is there any aspects to the moon? This is going to help you connect to your intuition and work with it and learn, what works best for you. The best way is by element. If you are a earth sign, you're going to work with your intuition, a little bit different than a water sign or a fire sign. So knowing this can definitely help in getting to know your intuition. So now let's get into more of the astrology for the week. So we have Venus conjunct Jupiter in Aries, which I really like this energy. I know there are some astrologers that are kind of looking at it as it might be a bit, I don't know. I'm going to tell you what I think of this energy. Aries is all about the self, and this is happening in the self. We also have this energy moving closer to Chiron. Chiron is the healer. So I see this Jupiter, Chiron, Venus kind of conjunction that's happening over the next week. Very healing, spiritual. I think this is going to have us really figuring out like what is with us that is no longer in alignment. What are we hanging on to that we no longer need? What is stopping us from moving in the direction and the journey that we are trying to move into? Whatever it is going to come up, and we're going to heal, and we're going to kind of get rid of it. And that's this whole Jupiter energy, right? Like Jupiter's going to bring us insight. Jupiter is going to allow us to expand on whatever it is that is stopping us and figure it out. Figure out like what is it that we have to work through in order to move ahead, to expand our own consciousness, expand ourself in some way. And Jupiter can also be like, spiritual. So, I look at this as like a healing thing where we're really going to be looking at ourselves and trying to figure out like, what is preventing us? What is stopping us from really moving in the direction that we want to move in? And that's kind of just how I see it. And things coming up where we are going to start moving through ways and healing so we can start enjoying ourselves or getting to know ourselves again, what truly makes us happy. I think that that's the energy we will be moving through, and that will be coming up over the next week with this Venus, Jupiter, Chiron energy. So that's just like how I feel about it. And also we have Mercury conjunct Saturn. So Mercury conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn represents rules, authority, restriction, stuff like that. And Mercury's information, communication. So this may be something that we hear that, the funny thing is that Mercury conjunct Saturn and it moves into Pisces. So it's almost like we hear something, but then are really confused about what it is that we just heard. It's like, oh, okay, that was weird. And then Mercury moves into Pisces, and they're like, what the heck is going on? Like, what did we just hear? Like, there's so much confusion with this. That's how I feel, but I keep hitting the microphone. I'm sorry if it's making a loud noise, but that's how I feel this energy is going to show up, where we hear something or something comes in, and then we're just like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand this. So definitely you want to, be aware of that. Something may come up where, it's confusing. And I think that's going to be for everything. I think this is more on a collective level. It could show up for us individually, but I think it's going to be more of a collective thing because it's in Aquarius, and Aquarius rules, social groups, the collective, all of us, right? And I think that, that's how this energy is going to show up. And then we have and then on March 5th, we have the sun. I think that is it. Because a lot of the energy, sorry, I'm looking at my calendar. I have my calendar here. And most of the energy is on Thursday. Like on Wednesday, we have Venus conjunct Jupiter. Thursday, Venus conjunct Jupiter. Mercury conjunct Saturn. Venus conjunct Chiron. And this whole Venus, Jupiter, Chiron energy, Jupiter then conjuncts Chiron on the 10th, which I think is a continuation of this energy. It's like continuing on. So we have about a week, I feel, of moving through this energy. But it all starts this week. And then on Sunday, we have Sun sextile Uranus, and this can bring in, sudden change. I personally, the Sun sextile Uranus is like some unexpected opportunity for me. I looked at this as like an unexpected opportunity that can come in, shifting our direction or shifting how we are now expressing ourselves out into the world. There's definitely a shift in this, and the Sun is in Pisces. Again, it's spirituality. There's a lot of people, I think, that are going to be starting spiritual practices that don't already have them. And I think this is a good thing. I think this is something that is needed for this time, and that we have to really, open up and figure out, we're going to start seeing a lot of stuff. So having a solid spiritual practice right now, understanding our intuition, understanding how to work with it and trust ourselves is going to be needed from now on forward because we're starting to see this craziness now and we're going to continue seeing it. So that's basically the astrology for this week. And the main intuitive message that I really had was when I dived into my intuition, I see what comes up, and one of the main things I keep getting is to not feed fear. Do not feed the fear. All of the stuff that's going on social media, even if it's just like bringing awareness, like there's a lot of things, which is good. We want to bring awareness to what is really going on in the world. And this is, around all different type of ideologies and things that are going on. We don't want to feed it though. If you want to, you want to bring awareness to it, but if it's something that you truly don't want to manifest, we can't focus on it and we can't give it our energy because we manifest whatever we focus on and whatever we give our energy to. So we want to bring awareness to it, but we don't want to bring so much awareness to it that people are getting fixated on it or continuing to feed into it. That was the biggest thing that came up for me for this week. So you want to be mindful on what you're watching on social media, what you're posting, what you're giving your energy to. It's good to know these things and it's good to pass the messages on to wake people up. But we have to remember we can't focus on them. We can't get fixated on these ideologies or beliefs or, whatever it is and feed it our energy because then it will manifest whether we don't want it. And that is what the higher up elites know. They know this. I live in Canada and Justin Trudeau was currently in my city. There was a huge protest and people are cussing at him, telling them how they feel, and he's laughing and he's smiling, and I'm thinking, well, he's a narcissistic, condescending, but at the same time, it's like he knows it doesn't matter what you think. If you're going to feed your energy into it, you're going to manifest it for him. You know what I mean? They all know how this shit works, so we just want to remember that. We want to remember we cannot feed, give our energy to what we don't want. So we have to bring awareness. We have to do these things, yes, but don't get so fixated on it, and make sure you're cleansing yourself, you're clearing your body out, and you're not holding on to that energy. You want to release it, Okay, so I think that is it. And I really hope you like this kind of chill set because I think I'm going to do this from now on. I'm also working on a monthly message video that I'm going to be posting for the month. And because I'm in Canada, I'm going to probably start posting some like Canadian charts and go into another thing I want to start is just for fun doing like celebrity charts. So like every week we could go into a celebrity chart or something like that. It'll be fun. So if you have any suggestions, comment below, and like and subscribe and do all of that stuff if you want more of my content or if this aligns with you. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.